The Hyena Queen by G. Swift. Part 1. A Cry for Aid. Chapter 1. Red mist hung in the air. Men voiced their death screams. These men were not primates who called themselves humans. No, these men were of two other races. The proscients, also called raccoon folk, and the pecants, sometimes called fisher folk, made up the forces, slaughtering one another outside the great stone blocks of a city wall. The wall defended the pecan folk capital, for the moment. Hark the war piper forced a path through the press of bodies. He was the lone primanth warrior in the battle. His proscienth allies and pecanth foes were all far shorter than he was. If he stood upright, he would be head and shoulders taller than the greatest of those fighting, but to do so would expose his legs to attack. Hark fought in a bent posture to engage his enemies. This slowed his progress, but prevented losing a leg. On all sides, soldiers fought and died. His black-striped comrades were the smaller of the two races, but they fought savagely nonetheless. They had good reason. The pecanth army had invaded proscienth lands, claiming a great swath of territory. The victors had shipped proscienth captives back to their own lands. The captives would fill pecanth bellies if they were not restored to their homes. The pecan folk were one of the mustalanth peoples. They were taller and thicker than their slim, elongated weaselanth cousins, but scrawny compared to the brawny badger folk. Their small stature and slight physiques caused many enemies to underestimate them, to their detriment. After generations of animosity, the pecants had invaded raccoon folk territory. Unlike past border skirmishes, this was a true war. The raccoon folk secured Hark's service by giving his master, the dragon, a lucrative prize. Hark had no idea what sort of tree would grow from the seed they traded, but the dragon's fixation on it meant it must be a rare one. Hark and his war pipes made the difference. The pecan folk army reeled from the magical flames and retreated in desperation. All men knew of the war pipers. Smart men knew not to oppose them in battle. When the proscienth army pursued their foes to the heart of their small woodland realm, Hark led the way. This would be the final battle.